In this video, you're going to learn how to ask the right questions when shooting your documentary film. Coming up. Welcome back to the channel. This is PH Daniel Sanchez, art director and creative entrepreneur. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe if you want to become a better visual artist. This is the part 2 of my video series on documentary filmmaking. If you haven't watched the first video, I'm gonna leave the link below. I encourage you to watch the first video as it sets the framework of the entire series. With that being said, let's get into the video. The number one thing to keep in mind here is preparation. Ask yourself this: what's the outcome of your documentary film? You're about to drop some serious resources into this, so you have to have a vision and a goal in mind before shooting. For us at the Next Level Experience, our outcomes are to generate more leads, increase our brand awareness, and to make our sales process easier. And as a result, this will bring more revenue to the organization. The premise of our documentaries is to show how men entrepreneurs get the edge back in their lives. We want to show the transformation process of them coming to our events from being depressed, losing the edge, not having energy, not being confident, to ultimately get the edge back in their lives that made them successful in the first place. We also want to show the quality of people that come to our events, which are men entrepreneurs that run successful businesses. We're talking to a very specific demographic. We also want to learn how they found us and the reasons why they came to our event in the first place. And we determine all these goals and outcomes for our documentaries by having a team meeting. During these meetings, we discuss every detail of the event, and we also prepare a questionnaire for the upcoming event. These questions come directly from the founder himself and also from our sales team. Our main goal with our documentaries is to clear any concerns and answer as many questions about the program. By the way, we've never met with our clients before as they come from different parts of the US. So what I do is I create a profile sheet with details of our clients so we can get familiar with them before they come to the event. I also prepare my own script in order to introduce myself the first time that I interact with them. Here's how it goes. So my job here is to document your entire experience. I'm gonna be asking you questions throughout the event here and there, and I just want it to be real and raw. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Awesome. Again, preparation is key as you want to exude confidence and certainty, and then I go ahead and ask the first question. So my first question is gonna be, why are you here? What brings you to this event?
Because I have to operate at a higher level.
I'm here because my family, specifically my children,
myself, my future, my family, my kids.
For myself first, and then secondly for my family. I want to enjoy life, I want to be happy, I want to live large.
Then throughout the event, I check in with them and I ask them very simple questions like, hey, what are you getting from this? What's the biggest takeaway from this part of the mastermind? And here are some examples of the answers I usually get.
The biggest takeaway from day one. Every time I come to one of these events, I'm surprised and amazed to see how much value you can get from somebody in a very short period of time.
This is very important as their energy is gonna be really high and the information that they give me is gonna be very detailed. I also check in with the founder Raul so he can give me his own perspective, but with him it's a little bit easier just because he already has a speech prepared before we start any of these events.
Ready? Yep. What will man put themselves through a journey to go to the unknown, to go into the darkness?
What we're trying to accomplish here is to collect as many materials as possible in order to tell a powerful story. During the last day of our event, we set up a final interview. I'm usually behind the cameras, making sure that we get the right visuals and nothing gets out of focus, and we have one of our coaches conducting this interview. These are questions that we prepared during the meeting before the event. By the way, I'm gonna have a dedicated video on how to set up a cinematic interview, so don't worry, I got you covered. Just don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell in order to be the first to know when the video drops. However, this last event I had the challenge to conduct the interview myself because our coach wasn't available, and the problem was that I wasn't prepared. This is a quick note for myself. As I was going through the interviews, I realized that I didn't study the questions, and I felt the first person that was sitting here that I was doing the interview wasn't 100% my best approach because I felt a little nervous. So study your questions. Here are the key takeaways from this video. You have to have an outcome in mind for your documentary film, whether it is to increase your brand awareness or to generate leads, whatever it is, in order for you to justify the cost of producing a documentary film. You're going to meet with your client and your team in order to elaborate a questionnaire. Again, you want to be as prepared as possible. You don't want to ask random and generic questions that won't add value to your documentary film. Then you're gonna study those questions, because when you are conducting these interviews, you wanna be fully present and exude confidence and certainty. And finally, you want to collect as much material as you can in order to tell a powerful story. And that's where we're going to leave it today, but before you go, here's the question of the day. What's the biggest challenge that you're facing as a documentary filmmaker? Post your answers in the comment below. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated with this series. This is PH Daniel Sanchez, and I'll see you next time.